Dear student, I think that you have learnt 5 lectures of molecular spectroscopy, paper number 5502. So today we will take the last lecture of this chapter, rotational spectra, in which we have to cover 2 small articles, non-rigid rotator and isotope effect. Okay, so there are 2 small articles, non-rigid rotator and isotope effect. Okay, now in case of rigid rotator, we have studied the rotational spectra, and in the rotational spectra of rigid rotator, as you have studied that the rotational line of a rigid rotator are equidistant. We have studied that rotational line of a rigid rotator, when molecule behaves as a perfectly rigid rotator, then the rotational line of a rigid rotator are perfectly equidistant. You have also studied that wave number of rotational line is given by mu is equal to 2b j plus 1. We have derived this equation, wave number of absorbed rotational line or emitted rotational line. Wave number of absorbed or emitted rotational line is given by mu is equal to 2b into j plus 1, where b is a rotational constant and this j is the lower quantum number. J is lower quantum number. B is a rotational constant and j is a lower rotational quantum number. Now first, the first rotational line, how do you get the first rotational line? When molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 0 level to j is equal to 1 level, you will get the first rotational line of the molecular spectra. Okay, so for the first rotational line, the lower quantum number is 0. So if you put j is equal to 0 here, you will get the wave number of the first rotational line will be 2b, 0 plus 1, that is 2b. So wave number of the first rotational line will be 2b. Now when molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 1 to j is equal to 2, you will get the second rotational line. So first rotational line is obtained when molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 0 to j is equal to 1. So lower quantum number j is 0. So wave number of the first rotational line is 2b, 0 plus 1, that is 2b. The second rotational line is obtained when molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 1 to j is equal to 2. Now for this transition, lower quantum number is 1. So the wave number of second line is 2b, 1 plus 1, that is 4b. And similarly, when molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 2 to j is equal to 3, you will get the third rotational line. And for this transition, the lower quantum number is 2 because transition is taking place from 2 to 3. So lower quantum number is 2. So wave number of the third line will be 2b, 2 plus 1, that is 6b. 6b. So when molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 0 to j is equal to 1, we get first rotational line. Its wave number is 2b by putting j is equal to 0 in this equation. When molecule makes a transition from j is equal to 1 to j is equal to 2, we get the second rotational line. And the wave number of the second rotational line will be 2b, 1 plus 1, that is 4b. And when molecule goes from j is equal to 2 to j is equal to 3, it gives third rotational line and its wave number will be 2b, 2 plus 1, that is 6b. You can see here the separation between consecutive rotational line is constant, that is 2b. The separation between consecutive rotational line is 4b minus 2b, that is 2b. Here also it is 2b. So separation between consecutive successive rotational line is constant, and that is equal to 2b. Okay, but it is experimentally observed when rotational spectra is studied, it is found that the rotational lines are not exactly equidistant. Actually, it should be, but the rotational line are not exactly equidistant. So in practice, rotational lines are not exactly equidistant. So experimentally, it is observed that rotational lines of the molecule are not exactly equidistant. It is found that the spacing between rotational lines decreases with increasing value of rotational quantum number J. So this is experimentally found. In practice, the rotational lines are not exactly equidistant. The spacing between rotational lines decreases with increasing value of J. Okay. Now why this happens? It means that molecule is not perfectly rigid. Rigid means suppose I consider HCl molecule, then for rigid rotator we have assumed that R is fixed, R is constant. When the internuclear distance R between two atoms of the molecule is constant, we say that molecule behaves as a perfect rigid rotator. But here, experimentally in practice it is found that rotational lines are not exactly equidistant. The spacing between rotational lines decreases with increasing value of rotational quantum number J. It shows that the internuclear distance R is not going to be constant. Means molecule is not behaving as a rigid rotator. Right? There is some change in the value of R when molecule is okay. So what will happen? Okay, so now let us see why this happens, that the rotational lines are not exactly equidistant, and why the spacing between rotational line decreases with increasing value of J. It means that molecule will not behave as a perfectly rigid rotator. So molecule will behave as a non-rigid rotator. So why this happens? That molecule, if molecule is perfectly rigid rotator, then the distance, the separation between the rotational line must be constant, that is 2b. But the separation decreases with increasing value of J. It shows that molecule is not a rigid, perfectly rigid rotator. It behaves as a non-rigid rotator. Okay. Now why this happens? I give you it means that I give the answer that why the rotational lines are not exactly equidistant. Why the spacing between rotational line decreases with increasing value of J. It means that this is due to the fact that molecules are not perfectly rigid. This is the answer, that molecules are not perfectly rigid. So this is due to the fact that molecules are not perfectly rigid. Means R is not going to be constant between two atoms of the molecule. Now why this happens? This happens because R is also known as bond length. Okay. Now when molecule is rotating, then due to the centrifugal force, the molecule will stretch, and during the stretching of the molecule, the bond length R is going to increase. So R is not going to remain constant. Once again I repeat. That during the rotation of the molecule about the axis, the molecule will stretch due to centrifugal force, and due to centrifugal force, molecule will stretch. As a result, the bond length R, internuclear distance R, is going to increase, and bond length R is going to increase as the rotation of the molecule become faster and faster. So I write the reason: due to centrifugal force, molecule will stretch. Due to the centrifugal force, molecule will stretch while rotation. You know very well, when molecule is rotating about an axis of rotation, there is a centrifugal force mv square upon r acting on the molecule, and due to the centrifugal force mv square upon r acting on the molecule, during the rotation of the molecule will stretch. As a result, bond length will increase. If the bond length R is increasing, then molecule will not behave as a rigid rotator, but molecule will behave as a non-rigid rotator, because bond length R is not constant now because of the centrifugal force acting on the molecule will stretch, and if molecule will stretch, the bond length or internuclear distance R will increase. This stretching or bond length R increases with increasing rotation of the molecule. This bond length R, the stretching of the molecule or bond length R increases with increasing rotation of the molecule. Okay, so now we can understand that due to the centrifugal force acting on the molecule, during the rotation of the molecule is stretching, and due to the stretching of the molecule, the bond length or internuclear distance R is increasing. As the bond length R increases with increasing rotation of the molecule. Okay. Now we have studied that for rigid rotator, rotational wave number Fj is given by Bj plus 1, where B is the rotational constant and J is the rotational quantum number. We have derived this equation in the previous lecture, that for rigid rotator, the rotational wave number Fj is given by Bj plus 1. This Fj is called the rotational wave number, or it is also known as rotational term also. This Fj is called rotational wave number, or the other name of the rotational wave number is rotational term value. Okay. Now here we have seen that our molecule is not perfectly rigid, because when molecule is rotating about an axis, due to the centrifugal force acting on the molecule is stretching, and due to the stretching of the molecule, the bond length R is going to increase, and the bond length R increases with increasing rotation of the molecule. So for non-rigid rotator, there is a change in the term value. So we write the equation for non-rigid rotator. For non-rigid rotator, for non-rigid rotator, rotational term or rotational wave number Fj is different. For rigid rotator, rotational wave number is Bj plus 1. But for non-rigid rotator, rotational term is different. It is given by Bj plus 1 minus D J square J plus 1 square. So please remember this two equation. For rigid rotator, rotational term value, rotational number Fj is Bj plus 1, and for non-rigid rotator, rotational term value, rotational number Fj is given by Bj plus 1 minus Dj square J plus 1 square. That is D. Yes, you know very well B is a rotational constant, J is the rotational quantum number, and here D, which we have introduced in this equation, is known as distortion constant. Distortion constant. And this distortion constant D is much less than rotational constant B. So here in this equation, D is the distortion constant, and this distortion constant is very less than the rotational constant B. Okay. Now, in case of rigid rotator, we have derived the equation of wave number of rotational line. It is 2B J plus 1. You know that in case of rigid rotator, the wave number of absorbed or emitted rotational line is given by 2B J plus 1, where J is the lower quantum number and B is the rotational constant. Okay. Now for non-rigid rotator, we will obtain the equation of wave number of rotational line. The wave number of rotational lines for non-rigid rotator is given by Fj plus 1 minus Fj. What is Fj plus 1? Fj plus 1 is the rotational term value of the higher rotational level J plus 1, and Fj is the rotational term value of the lower rotational level J. So I draw two levels here. This is the lower rotational level J, in which the rotational term value is Fj. This is the upper rotational level J plus 1, in which the rotational term value is Fj plus 1. The difference of these two term values, will give the wave number of the emitted or absorbed rotational line. Okay, now we know the equation of Fj. What is Fj? That is the rotational term value for non-rigid rotator in the J quantum state. It is Bj plus 1 minus Dj square J plus 1 square. From this equation, you can write down the rotational term value for the upper level J plus 1 by replacing J by J plus 1. You can write the equation for Fj plus 1, rotational term value for the upper level J plus 1. It is B. You replace J by J plus 1. Here also replace J plus 1 will be J plus 2 minus D. J is replaced by J plus 1 square. J is equal to J plus 1 will be J plus 2 square. Now when molecule makes a transition between rotational level J, lower rotational level J and upper rotational level J plus 1, you will get a rotational line. So when molecule makes a transition between lower rotational level J and upper rotational level J plus 1, then we get a rotational line. The wave number of that rotational line, due to the transition of the molecule between lower level J and upper level J plus 1 is given by the difference of these two term values, Fj plus 1 minus Fj. So wave number of rotational line due to the transition of the molecule between lower level J and upper level J plus 1 is Fj plus 1 minus Fj. That will give the wave number of the rotational line due to the transition of the molecule between lower level J and upper level J plus 1. Now let us put the values of Fj plus 1. Fj plus 1 is B J plus 1 J plus 2 B J plus 1 J plus 2 minus D J plus 1 square J plus 2 square. So this is the value of Fj plus 1 minus let us put the rotational term value of the lower rotational level J. It is Fj, that is Bj plus 1 B J plus 1 minus Bj square J plus 1 square. This is a very simple calculation. You can do yourself. If you do yourself, you will find that the answer will be 2bj plus 1 2bj plus 1 minus 4dj plus 1 cube. So this equation gives the wave number of rotational line for non-rigid rotator. Please remember, the wave number of rotational line for rigid rotator is 2bj plus 1, and wave number of non-rigid rotator, wave number for the rotational line of non-rigid rotator is, the first term is same, 2bj plus 1, one extra term is there, minus 4dj plus 1 cube. This minus term shows that as the quantum number j increases, the spacing between rotational line decreases. So this equation shows that there is a minus term. What is the meaning of this minus term? Minus term shows that the spacing between rotational line decreases due to this minus term as the quantum number j will increase. So finally we write the result. The separation between rotational lines slightly decreases with increasing value of so as you go towards higher quantum number j, the spacing between rotational line decreases. So our conclusion from this equation is this: due to this minus negative term, it shows that the separation between rotational lines of non-rigid rotator slightly decreases with increasing value of quantum number j. Why slightly decreases? Why I have written slightly decreases? Because the value of d is very less than b. Value of distortion constant d is very less than rotational constant b. Therefore, the separation between rotational lines slightly decreases with increasing value of rotational quantum number j. It means that the rotational lines are not exactly equidistant for non-rigid rotator. The separation between rotational lines of non-rigid rotator slightly decreases with increasing value of quantum number j, and that is why we have to consider that molecule is not perfectly rigid, it is a non-rigid rotator. Okay, and the last article, that is the isotope effect. Isotope effect. You know different isotopic molecules. Let us consider the example of hydrogen. has actually 3 isotopes. I consider 2 isotopes of hydrogen, 1H1, and second isotope I consider, that is 1H2. So let us consider 2 isotopes of hydrogen, 1H1 and 1H2. The mass of this 1H1 is less, so it is a lighter isotope, and mass of the deuterium 1H2 is double than the mass of 1H1, therefore this is a heavier isotope. Okay. Now for different isotope, the reduced mass mu is different. For different isotope, reduced mass mu is different, and therefore rotational constant B is also different. So I write that for different isotope, reduced mass mu and rotational constant B will be different. I mentioned that for different isotopes, reduced mass mu and rotational constant B will be different. So the reduced mass mu and rotational constant B will be different for different isotopes. Now what is the equation of rotational constant B? You know very well that rotational constant B is nothing but H upon 8 pi square IC. What is I? We have defined this rotational constant B. The rotational constant B is H upon 8 pi square IC. Its unit is the unit of Bell inverse, centimeter inverse or meter inverse. Okay. Now this I is the moment of inertia. This moment of inertia is nothing but mu r square. So H upon 8 pi square. This moment of inertia of the molecule is mu r square into C. You can see from this equation that as the reduced mass mu of different isotope is different, the rotational constant B is also going to differ. As the reduced mass mu is different for different isotopes. If reduced mass mu is different for different isotopes, then rotational constant B is also different. Okay. So I write two equations of rotational constant. I write the equation of rotational constant B for lighter isotope, that is 1H1. It is H upon 8 pi square mu r square C. So this is the rotational constant for the lighter isotope 1H1 is H upon 8 pi square mu r square C. What is mu here? Mu is the reduced mass of 1H1. Okay. Similarly, I write the rotational constant for heavier isotope, that is B dash. Heavier isotope, that is H will remain same. For both the isotope, Planck constant is same. 8 pi square is a constant term. Okay. But mu is going to be different for 1H1 and 1H2. So I write mu dash here, R square C. So I have written the equation of rotational constant for lighter isotope and heavier isotope. For lighter isotope 1H1, the rotational constant B of lighter isotope is H upon 8 pi square mu r square C. That means the reduced mass of the lighter isotope 1H1. And rotational constant of heavier isotope 1H2 is H upon 8 pi square mu dash r square C. That mu dash is the reduced mass of heavier isotope 1H2. You can see that the mass of lighter isotope is less. Therefore, the rotational constant of lighter isotope will be more. Because it is in denominator. If the reduced mass of the lighter isotope is less, then rotational constant of the lighter isotope will be more. Here also, the reduced mass mu dash of the heavier isotope is more. Therefore, rotational constant of the heavier isotope will be less. So for different isotope, the value of rotational constant B is not same, it is different. As for example, I have given here example of hydrogen, that for lighter isotope 1H1, the reduced mass is less. So rotational constant of lighter isotope will be more. And the reduced mass of heavier isotope 1H2 is more. Therefore, the rotational constant of the heavier isotope will be less. Okay, so it means that B dash, rotational constant of heavier isotope is less than the rotational constant of lighter isotope. From this calculation, we have seen that the reduced mass of lighter isotope is less, so rotational constant of lighter isotope is more, and reduced mass of the heavier isotope is more, so rotational constant of heavier isotope is less than the rotational constant of the lighter isotope. Okay, so if the rotational constant of heavier isotope B dash is less than the rotational constant of lighter isotope, you can say that the rotational term value F dash J of heavier isotope is also less than the rotational term value of the lighter isotope. Because if rotational constant of heavier isotope is less than rotational constant of lighter isotope, it means that the rotational term value F dash J of heavier isotope is also less than the rotational term value of the lighter isotope. Why? Because you know the equation of Fj. Fj is nothing but it is 2bj plus 1. So Fj is directly proportional to B. You know the equation of rotational term value Fj, it is 2bj plus 1. So rotational term value Fj is directly proportional to the rotational constant B. So for heavier isotope, rotational constant B dash is less. So rotational term value of heavier isotope will be less. For lighter isotope, B is more. So rotational term value or rotational wave number will be more for lighter isotope. What this suggests? This suggests that this suggests that the separation of levels, I write the conclusion, the separation of rotational levels because actually rotational constant B determines the separation between rotational lines or rotational levels, because the separation between consecutive rotational lines of a rigid rotator is 2b. So separation is directly proportional to the rotational constant B. So this suggests that the separation of rotational levels for heavier isotope is less, because for heavier isotope Fj dash is less than Fj. So the separation of rotational levels for the heavier isotope will be smaller than separation of rotational levels for heavier isotope. Separation of rotational levels for heavier isotope will be smaller than those of the corresponding levels of lighter isotope. Right? So this calculation shows that the separation of rotational levels for heavier isotope is smaller than the separation of rotational levels for the lighter isotope. Therefore spectral lines will also be closer. Okay, so you can understand that the separation of rotational levels for heavier isotope is smaller than those of the rotational level of lighter isotope, means the spectral lines will also be closer. If you draw the rotational levels for lighter and heavier isotope, okay, I will draw the rotational levels. I will draw the rotational levels for heavier isotope and lighter isotope. In case of lighter isotope, the rotational lines are like this: J is equal to 0, J is equal to 1, J is equal to 2, J is equal to 3. In case of lighter isotope, the rotational levels are like this, but in case of heavier isotope, the rotational constant of heavier isotope is less than the rotational constant of lighter isotope. Therefore, the Fj is less than the rotational term value of heavier isotope is less than the rotational term value of lighter isotope. Therefore, spacing of rotational lines for heavier isotope will be smaller than this spacing. So, if you show the levels, it will be like this. Okay, this is J is equal to 0. This is J is equal to 1. This is J is equal to 2. This is J is equal to. You can see from the diagram that the spacing between rotational levels of heavier isotope is smaller than the spacing of rotational levels of the lighter isotope. Thank you. This is the end of this chapter. I just take one example and I just take your 5 minutes and complete one example. Take your 5 minutes. A mercury chloride molecule emits a 4.4 centimeter photon when it undergoes transition J is equal to 1 to J is equal to 0. Find internuclear distance are for this molecule. This is the example that a mercury chloride Hg200Cl35 molecule undergoes a transition from J is equal to 1 level to J is equal to 0 level, it emits a rotational line of wavelength 4.4 centimeter. Then you are asked to calculate the internuclear distance R for this molecule. Let us solve this example. So, see, in the previous example we have seen that when molecule goes from lower level J is equal to 0 to J is equal to 1, it will give the first rotational line, but it is called absorption line. In this example, molecule makes a transition from upper level J is equal to 1 to lower level J is equal to 0, so it will give the emission line. So there are two types of spectra, absorption spectra and emission spectra. This is the example of emission spectra, that here molecule undergoes a transition from upper level J is equal to 1 to lower level J is 0, it gives a rotational line and its wave number is given by 2bj plus 1. See, in this equation, either you study absorption spectra or emission spectra, J is always a lower quantum number. So when mercury chloride SgCl molecule, when SgCl molecule undergoes a transition from higher level J is equal to 1 to lower level J is equal to 0, it will give the emission rotational line. The wave number of the emitted rotational line is given by mu is equal to 2bj plus 1. Now, for this transition, when molecule undergoes a transition from J is equal to 1 to J is equal to 0, we get the first emitted rotational line for SgCl molecule and its wave number is given by 2bj plus 1. Now, for this transition, upper quantum number is 1 and lower quantum number is 0. So, the wave number of this line will be 2b 0 plus 1, that is mu is equal to 2b. In the case of absorption line, the wave number of the first rotational line was also 2b. In the case of emission spectra, it is also 2b. Only transition is different. Here, SgCl molecule makes a transition from higher level J is equal to 1 to lower level J is equal to 0. So, it is emitting the radiation and the wave number of the emitted radiation is given by 2bj plus 1. In this transition, lower quantum number is 0. So, wave number of the emitted rotational line will be 2b 0 plus 1, that is 2b. Mu is equal to 2b. Now, see, in this example, you are not given the wave number of the rotational line, you are given the wavelength of the rotational line, that is lambda 4.4 centimeter. In the previous example, I have given the wave number of the rotational line. In this example, you are given the wavelength of the emitted line, that is 4.4 centimeter. Okay, now you know very well the wave number of the first rotational line. Wave number of the first rotational line is mu is equal to 2b. Now wave number is nothing but 1 upon lambda is equal to 2b. Wave number is nothing but it is the inverse of wavelength lambda. 1 upon lambda is equal to 2b. Therefore, value of 2b is equal to 1 upon. Now, what is the wavelength of the emitted rotational line? The wavelength of the emitted rotational line due to the transition of the molecule from level 1 to 0 is 4.4 centimeter. So, I write 4.4 centimeter. So, we will get the value of B. We will get the value of rotational constant B, that is 0.1136 centimeter inverse. If you want to write the value of B in meter inverse, it is 11.36 meter inverse. So from the wave number of rotational line mu is equal to 2b, we got the value of rotational constant B, that is 11.36 meter inverse. Second calculation, of reduced mass mu. The reduced mass of SgCl molecule is nothing but it is mHg into mCl upon mHg plus mCl. You can calculate the reduced mass of HgCl molecule using the equation that mass of the mercury atom into mass of the chlorine atom divided by mHg plus mCl. If you substitute the values, we will get the reduced mass of HgCl molecule is 4.94 10 to minus 23 gram. So from the equation of reduced mass of HgCl molecule, M Hg into NCl upon Nhg plus MCl, you get the reduced mass of the HgCl molecule 4.94 10 to minus 23. Third one is rotational constant B is, you know very well, it is H upon 8 pi square IC. Rotational constant B is H upon 8 pi square IC. In this equation, this I is nothing but mu r square. I is nothing but mu r square. You are asked to calculate, yes, so from this equation, you can calculate the internuclear distance R. So R square is equal to H upon 8 pi square mu into this. You know all the values. Okay, I am not going to put the values. You know Planck constant H. Planck constant H is 6.62 10 to minus 34. 6.62 10 to minus 34 joule into second. Name gas 853.14 square. Reduced mass we have just calculated. Reduced mass is 4.94 into 10 to minus. See, this is in gram. So if you want to write in kilogram, it is 10 to minus 26. The value of B we got 11.36. CU 3 10 to 8 meter per second. So I have substituted all the values. Planck constant H is 6.62, 10 to minus 34 joule per second. 8 pi 3.14 square. Reduced mass 4.94, 10 to minus 26 kilogram. Rotational constant B we have obtained from the wavelength of the first rotational line, that is 11.36 meter inverse. And C you know, that is 3 into 10 to 8 meter per second. From this you can calculate the internuclear distance R for HgCl molecule. So this is the end of this chapter. We have completed all the articles with example also. Okay, some examples for practice. In exercise of the rotational spectra chapter, number of examples are given. You can solve it. If you have any doubt, then please ask me. Thank you so much.